NBA landscape is looking a lot different than it did at the start of the season. Kyrie sabotaging the Nets forced a lot of movement around the league. I figure now, since we're at the All-Star break, it's a good time to take a little look around the league and see where the Warriors stack up. I guess the place to start is Kyrie forcing his way out of Brooklyn and getting shipped off to the Dallas Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and a few firsts. The first thing I thought when this trade was announced is that the Mavs should have just kept Jalen Brunson. Yes, Kyrie from a talent standpoint is an upgrade over Brunson, for sure, but is he enough of an upgrade to offset giving up Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith in the process? Is all that worth it for a dude that might be a one-year rental? Yeah, I don't know about that, especially when you could have just kept those assets and locked up Brunson long-term. Brunson's also 4 years younger than Kyrie. If the Kyrie-Luka pairing don't work and things get a little weird, Kyrie might dip. That's a nightmare scenario for Dallas after giving up all those assets. I'm just saying, the Mavs are putting a lot of faith in a dude that's proven he can't be counted on. Ask the Celtics and Nets how putting their faith in Kyrie worked out for him. But hey, if things do work out, Kyrie and Luka offensively should make the Mavs an offensive juggernaut. The level of elite shot making between those two, surrounded by all that spacing, it's going to be hard to stop. The Mavs are going to be a tough matchup for a lot of teams because they'll be able to score with anyone. But I'm looking at their roster and I'm asking who's playing defense. The Mavs are dangerous, but I still don't see them beating the Warriors in the series. They don't have enough difference makers on defense to make Steph Curry and this Warriors team uncomfortable. They're worse equipped to defend the Warriors now, losing Dorian Finney-Smith, than they were last year when they had no answers. The GP2 edition, specifically, is key for a potential Mavs series. Now with GP2, the Warriors have another elite point of attack defender to put on Kyrie, while still having Wiggins and Kuminga to put on Luka. On the flip side, who in the Mavs is guarding Steph? What about Clay, Wiggins, Poole? Who's guarding them? Reggie Bullock? Really? Reggie Bullock? I mean, he's a decent team defender, but he ain't locking up nobody. With this move, the Mavs went for the upside swing. But you gotta count on Kyrie not being a weirdo and actually being reliable for it to work. That's not a gamble personally I'd be willing to make. But we'll see how it plays out for him. Man, KD gotta be sick. This dude left Steph Curry in a dynasty to team up with his best bud Kyrie, more than likely leaving multiple championships on the table in the process. So you're telling me those Nets teams with KD, Kyrie, and Harden, those Nets teams, in 4 years, not only did they not win a chip, but couldn't at least make the conference finals? Really? That's crazy to me, bruh. Meanwhile, the Warriors are fresh off their 4th championship in 8 seasons. It really puts in perspective how great this Warriors dynasty is. It's not as easy as putting a bunch of big names on one team and saying go win a chip. You still gotta go out there and play the games. This ain't 2K, bruh. Can't just turn off team chemistry and out-talent teams to a title. Personalities have to fit into a team dynamic, or it's not gonna work. All these dudes got egos, man. They're the best of the best. Why wouldn't they? But it's about who's willing to be a team player and sacrifice for the good of the team. KD tried to build his own thing in Brooklyn and it failed miserably. I don't think people are making a big enough deal about that. Now he just ran to the next man team. But anyways, KD to the Suns. I'm not gonna lie. Book and KD, that's a pretty formidable duel. Adding KD knocks CP3 and Aiden down in the pecking order, which eases the burden off of Chris Paul who's getting older. There's nothing negative really I can say about the move. The Suns went to the finals 2 years ago and just added a top 5 player to the mix. There's no reason they shouldn't be the title favorites. On paper, the Suns team is stacked, but as I was saying earlier, you still gotta go out there and play the games. So we'll see how it plays out, but one thing's for sure, KD ain't got no excuses. The expectation is a title. Anything less than that is a failure. If he doesn't get it done this year after forcing his way to another stars team, I promise you the NBA world is gonna get their jokes off at KD's expense, and it's gonna be straight comedy. In terms of how the Suns match up with the Warriors, we haven't even seen KD play a game for the Suns yet, so I don't want to get too much into the hypotheticals until I got more game tip to go off of. But what I will say is, again, the GP2 trade is a factor in this matchup as well. You can put GP2 and Kuminga on Booker and still have Wiggins and Draymond up to match up on KD. The Warriors have enough defensive versatility to always have an elite point of attack defender and one of those dudes at all times, but that's easier said than done. Even though KD's KD and you do that trade as the Suns 10 times out of 10, losing Mikal Bridges was a huge loss to the defensive identity, but Mikal Bridges was a defensive player of the year candidate. Wrongfully so. I didn't think he was top 5, but hey, what do I know? But anyways, the point is he's a really good defender. In the Warriors-Suns potential series, the Suns should be the favorite, but I ain't betting against the Warriors if they back fully healthy. Especially not against the Suns team that's never proven anything. Whether they got KD or not, they still gotta prove it. Alright, let's speak on the Lakers right quick. I gotta give the Lakers GM, Rob Pelinka credit. The Lakers for sure got better at the deadline. Getting off Westbrook's contract and adding D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and Rui Hachimura, while only giving up 1 first and multiple seconds, that's a good piece of business. The Lakers knew the roster was cooked and they made a decent effort to improve, while getting younger in the process. Malik Beasley and D'Lo adds much needed shooting, while Vanderbilt and Hachimura adds more length and athleticism. Both the 27-32 record at the All-Star break and currently the 13th seed. It's curtain call for their title hopes. The Lakers are going to be fighting for their lives the rest of the season just to make the play-in. But for the sake of discussion, let's say hypothetically they go on a run and make the playoffs. Them dudes don't want to see the Warriors, bro. Come on. Let's be honest, man. Both teams fully healthy, the Warriors are still a better team. As much as the Warriors have struggled this season, the Lakers have struggled even more. The Lakers can't use injury excuses for the record because the Warriors are dealing with just as many injuries. Steph Curry's missing his second 1 month plus injury in the same season, bro. Like, come on, bro. So Laker fans, Warrior fans ain't trying to hear it, bro. They ain't trying to hear none of that. None of that. But look, man, long story short, I just don't see how the Lakers' deadline moves was enough to close the gap. Laker fans will tell you otherwise, though, of course. But let me ask you, who on the Lakers is a matchup problem for the Warriors? AD? Come on, bruh. I'm perfectly fine with Draymond Looney guarding AD on an island and living with the results. Draymond has always played AD tough, so I'm not even worried about that matchup. As for LeBron, look, bruh, LeBron's still putting up great numbers. But you can't tell me with a straight face he's the same threat he used to be. I get it. Year 20, I understand all that. What he's doing at his age is not only impressive, but it's pretty much unheard of. It's unprecedented. But with that being said, nothing he's doing scares me in a hypothetical playoff series. After seeing Wiggins guard Luka in the Western Conference Finals, and how he had Tatum locked in Azkaban in the finals, I'm pretty confident in Wiggins' ability to hold his own against year 20 LeBron. On the flip side, who on the Lakers is guarding Steph? Malik Beasley? Dennis Schroeder? Again, a common theme with all these teams. They don't got nobody that can guard Steph Curry, especially the Lakers. They're going to have D'Lo out there playing 30 minutes a game. Again, who is he guarding? Not only can you not put him on Steph, you can't put him on Clay, Wiggins, or Poole. The same goes for Malik Beasley. He can't guard either, but the Lakers have to play him because he's their best shooter. AD can only cover up so much defensively if the dudes at point of attack can't stay in front of nobody. I just don't see how the Lakers are getting enough stops to beat the Warriors in the playoff series. The Clippers were active at the deadline too. They made 3 separate trades for Eric Gordon, Bones Highland, and Mason Plumlee, all 3 addressing team needs to an extent. The Clippers were looking for a reliable backup big to keep Zubac's minutes down. They feel like they got that in Plumlee. Eric Gordon provides a defensive upgrade from Luke Kennard, and Bones adds some youth and upside. Oh, and let's not forget they signed Russell Westbrook off the buyout market.
What's up, Clipper Nation? Russell Westbrook here. Super excited to get this thing rolling. Looking forward to it.
Overall, some solid additions, but the Westbrook signing threw me off though. The Clippers already have Terrence Mann, Eric Gordon, Norman Powell, and Bones all fighting for guard minutes. Paul George starts at shooting guard, so he's going to get a chunk of those minutes too. I mean, you can make the case Terrence Mann doesn't play enough, and now you bring in Westbrook, who you had to promise a role in order for him to agree to come. Are we sure Westbrook's still good enough to be promised a guaranteed role? Are we sure? I don't know, bruh. I promise you, there's going to be certain matchups where Terrence Mann and Eric Gordon are needed more than Westbrook because of their 3-and-D ability next to Kawhi and PG. Is Ty Lue going to play Westbrook over those dudes at the expense of his team because he was promised a role? If you do bench Westbrook, is he going to pout on the bench causing locker room tension? Westbrook's strengths as a point guard really isn't what the Clippers need out of that position. Westbrook has to have the rock in his hands to be effective because he can't shoot. On top of that, he's not a good defender either. I mean, unless it's a bigger player trying to post him up, because surprisingly, he's like a really good post defender. It's kind of entertaining watching him play post defense because he gets so offended that a team tries him and tests his strength that he just tries extra hard, and he's actually really strong for a point guard, so he holds his own for sure. But other than that, he might seem like a good defender because he's super active and he's jumping past the lanes and he's athletic, but when you actually watch him play, he's not a good defender. He's always getting backdoored. He's always getting back cut. He's one of the worst ball watchers I've seen. He gambles way too much, like sometimes no hope gambles. He just leaves his team out to dry. Westbrook's also one of the most turnover-prone players in the league. They don't need Westbrook calling his own number and hijacking the offense at the end of the game. They want the ball in their 2 best players, Kawhi and PG's hands. But here's the thing. In order to get the most out of Westbrook, he needs to be on ball and surrounded by shooters. Are you taking the ball out of Kawhi and PG's hands to accommodate Westbrook? No, and that's the problem with Russell Westbrook. He has to have the ball in his hands to be effective, but he's not good enough to warrant how much he needs to dominate the ball. He's too inefficient and turnover prone to be the lead offensive engine of a title team. It's going to be interesting seeing how that all plays out for him. I know at the very least, it's going to be entertaining watching another team try to change Westbrook's play style after he's been playing his way for 14 years. It ain't changed for nobody. The last 2 teams I want to touch on are the Grizzlies and Nuggets. If you've seen my past videos, you already know how I feel about the Grizzlies matchup. They ended up trading for Luke Kennard, who's a solid death piece. They needed more shooting, and he's one of the best shooters in the league. But he's not changing the outcome of a playoff series against the Warriors. It's the reason the Clippers traded him in the conference to another team. He's not good enough defensively to stay on the court in the later rounds of the playoffs. In a series against the Warriors, he wouldn't even sniff the court. The Grizzlies better do something this year. All the talking they've been doing, we better at least see the conference finals. At least the conference finals, because if y'all don't, I'm getting my jokes off. As for the Nuggets, they're a regular season machine. Jamal Murray's back from a torn ACL, playing some good basketball. Nikola Jokic is likely about to win his 3rd straight MVP. putting up historic numbers in the process. The Bruce Brown and KCP pickups in the offseason were huge for their point of attack defense. This Nuggets team has a legit shot at the championship, but they better hope they avoid the Warriors in the process. They better hope another team eliminates the Warriors, because in the potential Nuggets-Warriors series, I like the Warriors' chances. Jokic struggles guarding space. We saw every time Steph had Jokic on the switch, Steph either scored or broke the paint for a kick out to a wide open teammate at will. He got whatever he wanted going at Jokic. It's hard for a team to hide a poor defensive center. The center is supposed to be the anchor of your defense. When an anchor is a liability, it's hard overcoming that to put a championship defense together. It's not like you're gonna reduce Jokic minutes to play a rim protector more. It's like, come on now. Nah. Jokic is a soon-to-be 3-time MVP. He's gonna play 37 minutes in the playoffs, a minimum. As the Nuggets, you just gotta hope the surrounding defense is elite enough to overcompensate. Jokic has improved over the years as a defender for sure, but he's still a liability guard in space. That's his physical limitations. It's always gonna be something Steph Curry can exploit, something he's already shown he's capable of taking advantage of in the playoff series. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. If you stuck around this long into the video, I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. I got more on the way, so stay tuned. Peace.